What's up, guys? It's 10 p.m. again. We got another video in reaction to Ray's video. I haven't watched it yet. He told me to watch it. I've been going a little hard on him in the comments, so we'll see kind of what's what. I'm tired, if you can't tell, but I have a little bit of energy to do this video. Getting not only Ray commenting, but I'm getting these dudes that, like he says, don't post anything. They have, you know, no subscribers, no videos, and they're like, you don't know the first thing about lawn care. You have a lot to learn about lawn care. I want to make a separate video on that guy, because I'm gonna. It's just like the narrative that they have, like you're wanting to grow big. They're putting words in my mouth. You want to have multiple employees. I can't stand it. But let's go ahead. Let's play the video if I can see here.
Okay, y'all. Monday morning, man. Monday morning. So we start the video off. Probably do two videos today. One I'm gonna do in response to Jay's video that he did, talking about the marketing and, you know, calling me out, if you will. And I did. And y'all go check his channel out. Y'all go check his video out. You know, I want to give love to all the creators that give me content. Right? Yeah. Big shout out. A big shout out to Jay. Y'all go check his channel.
Well, I've been going a little bit too hard on him in the comments, I guess. Sorry, Ray. I'm tired. Anyway, I appreciate the shout out. Oh, it's all content, whatever. I'm not taking it personal. Whoops. I was eating my honey chicken from the China King. Oh, the other dude's comment pissed me off, though. I gotta make a video on other dude's comments, so maybe that's where that energy comes from towards you. Okay. Whoops.
All right, man. Jay, I'm gonna see if I can get you some more subscribers, man.
I don't care. Don't subscribe.
Well, I want everybody to see
Don't subscribe.
what you're talking about, and maybe you can help some people. You know, I don't know. I don't think that you can help me, but I might be wrong.
I'm tired.
So one thing that I wanted to throw out there right off the top, Jay, is your $1,988 average ticket price, keyword being average, that's not average in lawn, landscape, and that's not even average, I don't think. Now, I could be wrong, and I'll say it, I could be wrong. I don't think that's average in the Christmas lights either. I don't know. I guess I could be wrong.
It is if you're not these dudes that are out there, just, they don't even know their numbers. They're in my area, they're in every area. They don't know their numbers. They do not know what they're doing. They're pricing low, like, hey, yeah, I'll hang your lights for $400, $300, $200. That's a different service. They're hanging customer supplied lights, okay? My service is kind of like renting a bounce house or I own the lights. I do not install customer supplied lights ever, bar none. I only install lights that I own. I always own them. That's why I'm so profitable and I can price so high. It's just like renting a bounce house. Anyway, let's continue.
You can overcome any numbers that you're putting out there after you put the 1988 number at the top. You can do, I mean, you can make any numbers work based on that income, based on what it costs you being a small operation.
Okay, he put this text here. It says he Googled it. Don't ever Google how much something costs. It's always wrong. The price for a professional Christmas light installation ranges from $250 to $500 for basic jobs, $500 to $1,000. I have a $1,000 minimum for standard installations, and $1,000 to over $2,000 for premium to large projects. Okay, I'm gonna open Jobber here. Okay. Here's one, $2,024.60. Let's go back. Here's another one, $3,860.44 for Toby. Here's another one for Keith, $1,700 even plus tax. Here's another one for Shannon, $3,330. Here's one for a third-year customer, $1,902 even plus tax. Here's one for Shelly, $2,110.50. Here is another one, and this is the big one. This is the biggest ticket I've got so far this year, $5,844.30 for my man James, plus tax and all that good stuff. Here is Greg. It's a smaller ticket, smaller house, $1,187.20. Here's Hayden, $1,684.32. Here is another one for Rachel, $2,800 even. Here's another one for Nikki, $1,678. Here's one for Kelly. It's a smaller house, $1,200 even. Here's one for Latrice, $1,416. You know, I could keep going. Here's another small one for $1,320, $2,900 cash. Here's another one for $2,476 for Jennifer. You know, I could keep going. That's not all of them. So for people that are going to take those numbers and they're going to go, well, I averaged them out and that's not whatever. How I get my, and by the way, peep the shirt, good work ain't cheap, baby. $1,983 is my average ticket so far, okay, for Christmas lights, okay? 83, not 88, dad burn it. Okay. That is from jobs that I have done. That's how I get the number. That's not what the average person's going to do more than likely, because they're not going to price high as hell like I do. Yes, I'm high. I'm probably the highest in my market, or one of them. Well, I'm not the highest. There's a guy higher than me. But yeah, I'm pretty high. I'm up there because, you know, I want to be up there. I don't want to do work, and I don't want to do something that I can fall and break my spine or my back and could put me out of commission for chump change. That's my thinking. All right, let's continue.
If you're getting $1,988 per job, did $46,000 or whatever in a month.
So that was just math that I broke down from the $2,000 example, and I'm not doing them all by myself, but okay, let's play the video.
That means that you worked 30 days and did average of 14 hours every day, 7 days a week. I mean, if you want to go to averages, I mean, no, Ray, I didn't work 7 days a week. Some of the jobs were $4,000 and $5,000. Okay, but I don't know that I believe all that. I'm not saying there's not money in Christmas lights.
I just read them off.
If you're
on Jobber.
Let me show you how to put this.
I don't know if he's lying. I just read them.
Average ticket is $1,988.
Some of them.
That's really high.
Yeah.
Most average tickets are not.
I want to be high.
In this kind of work. Now, in the Christmas lights, I would say it's even high for that too. Because around here, there are guys that do Christmas lights, and around here, and I'm not saying they can't make a lot of money. They can. It's extremely seasonal. But I would venture to say, and I do know a couple of guys that dabble with the Christmas lights. They're not charging $1,988 a house.
Why not? I can tell you why. Because they're scared. They're afraid.
I've got customers that pay for Christmas lights, and some of them will pay a little bit more. They might pay.
They're afraid of rejection. It's fear of rejection. They don't want to be. They don't want to hear the word no.
More than that, but I'm not anybody. I'm just pointing out. But your video, the whole video, you keep going back to that 1988 number. And you can overcome anything with that with that number. Anything. That's not average, though, dude. I mean, for you to say and think that's average tells me that you're not really even in tune. Well, maybe I'm just not in tune. Hey, I can admit when I'm wrong, I guess. But I've been doing it a long time, and I know you roll your eyes when somebody says that because you think because somebody's been doing it a long time and that you got better. I don't know that. Because they say that, you roll your eyes in a disrespectful way. The title didn't say anything about Christmas lights. So that's why I did the video. But if you want to go there, I can go there too. It's not because I am who I am, and I've been doing it a long time. Roll your eyes. And I've somehow made it all these years. But Ray, you're not big. Right.
That's great. You made it all these years. All these years, you've made it since 2008. Great. That's fantastic. The problem is that you think $1,900 is a lot of money. That tells me that you've never raised prices to be what somebody being in the business that long should be able to charge a premium well over any of the other guys. Don't try to be competitive. Do not try to be competitive, because what happens is you can do less work for more money than the guy that's doing $20 chuck in the truck yards or $30, $40 yards, while you're charging $80 to $100 if you want to talk about lawn care. Or you can be the guy with an average ticket of $1,983 and a customer acquisition cost of $89, because I know that number, because I have data, I have the results to be able to show you these numbers. I'm not just taking them out of my hind end and pulling $1,900 and putting it on the board. I get this number from data. The problem is I don't care about you having multiple employees and having multiple trucks and all this stuff. If you want to stay small in people, that's fine. But you need to grab your price lever and you need to jack up your prices. You need to be charging more so you can stay small and still raise that revenue through the roof of what you've ever done before. Well, here's my challenge to you. Why don't next year you tell all your customers, let's say last year you charged them, I'm just going to throw a number, $30. Let's say you charged all your customers $30 for a yard last year. That's your average. Let's say 40. Say something. How about next year you tell them, yeah, we got to go up to 60. You know, this is theoretical. I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm not saying that every yard you look at is $40. You know, I'm saying that for the average yard, your average ticket, let's say, is $40 from these past years that you've been doing this. Why don't next year you go up? Why don't you double your prices next year? Just see what happens. Just see what happens, you know. I'll tell you what's going to happen. If people really like using you, I've raised my prices multiple times on my Christmas light customers. I've really raised my prices on the pressure washing side. And I'm kind of dipping out of that a little. I'm getting to the phase of kind of giving all my customers to another guy for a little buyout, if you will. Going to get out of that side because I'm just not into it anymore. And I really like the lawn care aspect, and I've actually got a lot of my installs from a lot of my lawn care customers this year, which is awesome too. I challenge you next year, raise your prices so you have to do less work, but you'll make more money. Every call that comes in after that, give them that raised rate and just see what happens. Raise it a lot. Rate it at 25% minimum. See what happens. Get past that fear of rejection. Get past that fear of being told no.
I mean, we do an average of $20K a month. There's your number. Do the math. I mean, that's what we do.
So if you're doing $20K a month, if that's your average month, why not spend a measly $2,000 and make more money and raise your prices from all? Here's what you do. The customers that are bringing you in $20,000, For every new customer that you spend marketing money on, let's say you spend $2K on next spring rush that next month, or spend it right now for skid steer work. Skid steer work's going to be exactly the same as how this works, because you're going to be able to have your average ticket cost because it's one-time work. Okay, this is how this works. You're going to be able to figure out your average ticket once you have, I would say, at least 5 jobs, figure out your average ticket, and it'll fluctuate some because that's actually not enough data. I would say once you get 21 time jobs with the skid steer, you can really know your average ticket, and you'll be able to find out how much it costed you to obtain that customer. If you're spending the $2,000 in ad spend, okay, you'll be able to figure out, does it cost me $100? Does it cost me $150? Does it cost me $300 to land a $10,000 job? You know, if your average ticket is like my buddy Nathan, I haven't heard him do a job for less than like 8K with this skid steer, with this Kubota, you know, and it's a different Nathan from my lawn care help, Nathan J, not Nathan R. You know, if your average monthly revenue is 20K, well then if your average ticket's, let's say $10,000 for skid steer work, I mean, you do 2 jobs, you're set, right? Well then shoot, you've got the whole month to either not do nothing if you don't want to make more money, or you can put money toward the marketing budget, $2,000, for example, out of the 20K, which is peanuts compared to the revenue number. And you could go deeper into profit and all that stuff and expenses, whatever. I'll tell you, I'm going to break down the expenses on this job. Let's say the ticket was $1,983. I price it on average $10 a foot. $10 a foot. So how much would that be? That would equal 198.30 feet. This is how you get this number. Let me tell you the expenses for this. So with labor and everything for this job, my lights, wire, and labor for this job would equal 500, and we'll make it nice and round number. It's actually 569, but we'll say 570. That is my expense for this single job. Okay, so what is that? That would be $1,983 minus $570. What does that give us? That gives us $1,414 profit. You know, let's take away 20% for taxes that we set aside for taxes, because you know we have to pay taxes here. That would leave us with $1,131.20 that we literally have anything that we want to do with. That is a 57% profit margin. Okay, now I know that might blow your mind, but that's why you price premium.
Say my average is 30K a month, and then that will make everything seem a little bit easier to digest. That's all you're doing. You're putting that big number at the top, assuming that that big number is 1988 is the number. But if you're only doing 1 job a month, is that any money?
Who said I'm doing 1 job a month? Huh?
I just find it really hard to believe that you make.
Who said I'm doing 1 job a day?
In a month doing Christmas lights, and you do
I'm
not
tired.
show
I'm getting
one
done late.
Video clip, not none.
Okay. I have posted 1 job before. I basically like didn't touch YouTube because I was so busy, and then I posted another job at the end of another video. Why do I have to post every job? You know how much work, extra work that is? Like right now, I would be asleep instead of recording this, but I don't know why I started watching YouTube again, and I just had to watch this bullcrap. I hate the lawn care YouTube space so far after a year of being in it. And the reason is because you've got dudes that, oh man, it's just unbelievable. Dudes from the lawn care side compared to the pressure washing side are just whiny as hell. they're like, you don't know what you're talking about, but then they're piss poor. You know, going forward next year, if I decide to do content, which I don't even know if I will, I may just make content for my Facebook and make like maybe a business YouTube page, maybe, but there will be no talking. It would be just time lapse only. If I did that and then do an Instagram, just focus on the business next year, because dude, like I see, like I don't know how Brian does it, I don't know how Keith Kalfas does it. Maybe it's just the part of the YouTube space that's hitting my algorithm and watching my videos that it is, but my God, ridiculous. It is like an elementary school of dudes that watch and comment on lawn care videos. They think that they know what they're talking about, but they can't even tell me their average ticket. They can't break me down their expenses. They can't put it on paper for me. They don't have data. They don't know their close rate. They don't know the first thing when it comes to business. And they're trying to tell me that I don't know how to run business, even though I've been doing this thing for half a decade. Just cause I'm coming over to the lawn care space, which apparently is completely different than pressure washing and Christmas lights.
I was on your Facebook page. Well, I mean, I put stuff on Facebook all the time. I just pull it right out of the video that I put on YouTube, and vice versa. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, I don't believe that the 1988 number is an accurate number. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying it's not accurate.
How's it not accurate? I'm taking that by getting all my jobs, converted jobs that I've done, and dividing them out and getting the average ticket price. Some of them, like I read off, are $5,800. Some of them are $2,000. A lot of them are in the $2,000 ranges. A lot of them are around $1,900. A lot of them are, you know, there's some that are $1,200. You get the average by taking the average of the jobs you've done. And then to get your CAC, you take how much you've spent in marketing and how many customers have converted, and then you can come up with your customer acquisition cost. How much money do you have to spend to acquire a new customer? In my case, on yesterday's video of $89. I'm trying not to make this video so long. I'm sorry.
About Christmas lights. Just like, what do you know about skid steer work? You went on to talk about, you know, a $5,000 skid steer job. I mean, have you ever done a $5,000 or $10,000?
Do you want me to?
Job? Have you ever done one?
What are you gonna do if I do?
How would you know? Right, you ain't never done Christmas lights, so how would you know? You're right. I don't. But I know what people are willing to pay for things.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You see that we come back to this poor person's mindset because you think that everybody thinks like you do. You think that you see an advertisement and I tell you that it's going to be $1,900 to put lights on your house. You're going to go, hell no. I would go, hell no. You see? But I understand that I am not always my customer. You are not your customer. You have no idea what people are going to pay. You have no idea. Now, the vast majority, you know, probably won't pay that. You know, but I'm not going for the vast majority. I'm not trying to land every single lead that comes in. You see, I can fall off a ladder and die. I don't want every single lead that comes in. I want to be expensive as hell. So if I do fall off, at least it was worth it. If I fall off of a ladder on a $5,800 job, at least I could say that I priced it high enough that I can pay for the medical bill, you know, just as an example. But drill this into your brain. You are not your customer. You watching this are not your customer. You have no idea what people will pay, and stop pricing your work based on you thinking that. Whether it's lawn care, whether it's Christmas lights, whether it's skid steer work.
My area, and I know there's going to be somebody coming, well, man, there's a lot of money in Christmas lights, right, for real.
He keeps putting up this Google search.
For some reason, he keeps going back.
You know how much it says the average lawn care cost is?
$1,988 average ticket price.
Yeah, I have that from data.
If you start off there, then all those numbers make plenty of sense. Plenty of sense. There's not a guarantee that if you spend $2,000 or $1,500 or $500 or $1 or $1 million that you're going to get one customer. It's not a guarantee.
Well, now here's what I'll say about that. He's right about that. And you know why he's right? Because a lot of you suck at sales. A lot of you you couldn't sell this marker to me. If I was looking for a blue marker, you couldn't sell this marker to me. And that's just what it is. If you suck at sales, say you suck at sales. If you can't sell a $13,000 skid steer job, say you can't sell a $13,000 skid steer job because either you don't believe that somebody will pay that, so you're going to be like, you'll go up to them, normally this will be $13,000, but I just don't think it's worth that. How about 6? You know, you come in at half. That guy's like, oh yeah. He'll call around and get other quotes, and then he calls you back, yeah man, you were the cheapest. Think about that. You were the cheapest, I'm gonna go with you. I called that Jay guy, and he told me my lights were gonna cost $2,000. Well, hey, you're pricing them at $300. Hey, I'm going with you. $600, I'm going with you. But at the end of the day, guess who's making higher profit margin with less work than the guy pricing at $200 to $600? I am. I'm able to pay the cost of admission for marketing because I'm actually pretty good at sales. I've been given the gift of the gab, as they say. That's what I've been told a lot. I can sell anything, and I truly believe that. I believe that I can sell anything. I do. You may not think so. I wouldn't be able to sell to you because you don't like me. You know, because I'm showing you my true self on this camera. I don't care, okay? But when a customer calls me, hey, game time mode, baby. We're in sales mode. We're in, I'm going to figure out the dog's name mode. I'm going to know their cousin's name. That's where we're at.
You can't. You're guaranteeing if you spend $2,000 on marketing.
Look, if you spend $2,000 on marketing and you don't get a single customer, go ahead, go apply for about 20 W-2 jobs. You're not cut out for it. I'm going to be the person that'll tell you that. If you can't sell a single job after $400, hang up the towel. If you can't sell a single job after paying $2,000 in marketing and getting calls, go apply for a W-2 job. I'm going to tell you the cold hard truth. You ain't built for it. You're not cut out for it. And you can be the guy that knows against the grindstone for, since 2008. And once you get there, say you've made it and you never raise your prices, you never, do all this stuff that I've said, and you can make it. You can not go bankrupt, I guess, over that time. And you can pay off equipment, but you know what? You'll never be as profitable as the guy that's pricing high ticket.
You're gonna get, if you spend $2,000 out of 10 on marketing, you're gonna get 20 customers. You're saying that as if it is a fact, a block.
Yes, it is a fact, because every $89 I've spent so far, and again, it's went up, but yesterday my customer acquisition cost was $89. So far this year, for every $89 I've spent, I've got a customer. I don't, again, just reach up my hind end and pull out that number out of thin air and go, bam, $89, baby. No, that comes from data. That comes from running marketing budget. That's how you get that number, okay?
And you keep talking about putting money in the street. You got to put money in. If you don't ever watch any of my videos, dude, I'm constantly putting money in the street, cash money in the street, constantly, and getting it back. I'm showing. Don't be one of the don't show me guys and talk all that. Come on, man. Obviously, you don't really know my channel or the mentality.
I don't watch a lot of your content.
You would be like, damn, he's made it all this time. And ain't never filed bankruptcy, ain't never went out of business, ain't never done any, just steady.
What'd I say?
Way. It might not be forward that way in your head.
How much longer can you keep doing that? How much longer can you keep doing this? What if I'm pricing so high that I'm able to retire well by the time I'm your age? Because I wasn't afraid to price high and I wasn't afraid to spend marketing budget. Think about that. I don't want to be mowing. I don't want to be doing this stuff. After 55, I'll be done. I might be coaching dudes. I might be arguing with dudes on the internet. I ain't doing that. I'll be done. I might be done by 45. you know, we'll see what happens. Right now, we're selling this house, and I'm going to be joining Aaron over at the Turfs Up Radio, dude. I'm going to be throwing me a double wide on a 29 acres of land, so I can start growing my own food, getting some chickens on there, you know, beekeeping, be doing all that. Hopefully get some of that started. We should be, hopefully, we're thinking, have this house sold and all this. I don't know why I'm saying this. Should have all that done by mid next year, but we'll have all our debt paid for. Everything will be paid off. I mean, I'll be 30 next year, next April, and we're thinking that's when we'll be in our new home and on that land by next April, and I'll be debt free. So take that for what you will. Debt free by 30.
To me, I'm in control
doing
of
what
everything.
I want. I'm in control of everything too.
I don't know if you value your time like I do. I don't want to spend my time doing things I don't want to do. We all do things for
Don't
money
we
that we
all?
might not necessarily want to do. Right. I get it. And I do that, and I'll end up doing it again, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I'm super weary about how I spend my time, whether I'm making money or not. Of course, I want to spend my time making $1,988 a day per job. But if
Multiple
you make
jobs a day.
$1,988 per day per ticket, and you're doing a $46,000 a month, you're not talking about anything. What does it cost you to do $46,000 a month in Christmas lights? You're not talking about what it cost you. What's your profit? Oh, you didn't tell the people that you got to go back to get them, and you got to go back to change.
So this year, I tested out one customer to put up Halloween lights and then change the light bulbs over, which I did myself and took literally, I went back and changed those bulbs myself. It couldn't have been 10 minutes. By the time I got the ladder out, put it up, changed out the bulbs in one pocket, put the old bulbs in the other pocket, you know, not pocket, but tool belt. In the little satchels. I did that on one customer this year. I won't do that again. I will not market Halloween lights next year. Now, if I charge $12 a foot and they want me to do that, yeah, it's baked into the cost, you see. Here's the cost of the $1,983 ticket for you. $570, that's labor included. That's $1,414 profit minus taxes. I'll put that 20% taxes set back for taxes in a bank account. $282 of that goes to taxes that I just want to have in an account for just in case the tax man comes around demanding money. $1,131.20 profit, 57% profit margin on the job. There's your numbers.
Come out and to get them down, they're not paying you again for that. What about that day? So now you got to start cutting some.
So the way you do this, it's already paid for. They've already paid for this stuff, okay? They've already paid for this stuff. It's baked into the initial price. That's part of it. The install, the maintaining through the season if anything goes wrong, you charge premium price to bake that into it. These guys that are charging $250 to $600 to put lights up, if a bulb goes out and they have to go back, oh, they in the hole. They're in the hole anyway, they just don't know it. But they're in the hole. And then when they have to go take it down, they're really in the hole. But you see me, I'm not in the hole because I have this much margin to work with. Okay? And say it's not that. Say it's even down here to 45%. I'm still able to go back and do that stuff. You see? You plan your route that first week of January. You start and you go and you take, hang on, let me get it. Hang on. Okay, you take this here extension pole and you put a hook on this end and you send it up and you fish the lights off there. I'll record one for you this year. You take it up, you hook around the lights. This will have a hook on it. You hook underneath the lights and you pull outward. And I can take down lights in a heartbeat with this thing. Okay? It extends very, very high. All right? But anyway, that's how you do that. It's not hard to take them down. I don't even get on the roof 99% of the time during takedown.
Because that ticket item is not, you're not doing it in a day, you're doing it in 3 days or 2 days or whatever.
You're doing it in minutes.
So you can spend Monday and Tuesday doing $1,988 a day, and that's, you know.
Why can't you do 3, 4, 5 jobs at the average ticket of $1,983 in a day? Why can't you do that? Why? Some jobs take me 30 minutes, and I posted that job. It took me 36 minutes this year because I was training my help on how to hang Christmas lights. 36 minutes. Taking time to explain things. Why can you only do 1 job a day? Well, I want to be done by 2 o'clock.
That's far-fetched. I'm not saying it ain't true, but that's far-fetched. But then the rest of the week, you're not making nothing because you got to go take the lights down. I don't understand. You're not talking about the cost of the lights either. I mean, you know, you talk about the numbers, but you're not really showing any of your numbers. You're not. I can tell you, I know exactly what it costs me to run. I know exactly how much money I got going out every month. My business is such a simple thing.
Mine is too.
Because of the way I have, not that I'm saying that I'm right, but because of the way I have managed things all these years. And I've been stacking money since you was in freaking middle school. You know, did it ever occur to you that
When I was in elementary school, I was running a sawmill, sawing lumber, stacking money after school. And I have a picture to prove it. I was like this. The bar was up here. I was down here. I was pushing. There's a picture of me like this, pushing a sawmill. And the log on it was a big cedar log. Okay? I was running a sawmill before the age of 10. Is that legal? Probably not. Did I care? No.
everybody don't want the headache of all that marketing and the problems, and it can bring good. I mean, you know, I'm honest. It can bring a lot of good things, I guess, if you're in the right place in your life. See, I'm not there. I don't want to run around looking at jobs and hope I get them. I don't want to go up on the price and or hire more guys. I don't want to do none of that.
Who wouldn't want to price higher and make more money without hiring? That makes no sense what you just said. That makes no sense. And learn how to price jobs online. I priced a yard this year online. Got there, I was like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. It's gonna be $160. She was like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, I figured you would have to see it. It was a lot worse than, you know, the pictures show or the measurements. I was like, yeah, sorry about that. And she still went with me.
Because all that's a time-sucking hassle. And then what happens if you raise your prices up too much and then you lose a customer? You lose 10, you lose 15.
Oh, how can I explain this? I'm going to try to explain this. If you have a constant lead flow, and let's say you have, let's just do a round number of 30 customers. You have 30 customers. Let's say you're taking 5 calls a day. You're pricing and doing quotes on 5 calls a day because you have your marketing dialed in, you're making a bunch of money. Okay, you have your 30 customers. You raise your prices. Now, you don't raise your prices on these guys yet. On all the new customers that are calling you, you're pricing at that next rate. So if you add 1 to here or you add 5 to here, they're at the premium, their price is up. Does this make sense? Is this simplified for you? Now, once you add 5 customers, so now you're at 35 customers from the 30. right? But 5 of them are priced a lot higher than the previous 30. Trying to help you here. You call your 5 lowest priced jobs and you raise the price on them. Now, let's say all of them, they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing it. And you go back down to 30 customers, but you're making more money because the 5 you added to replace the 5 that canceled with you because you raised the price on them, you're making more money because the new 30 customers, you're making more money because the 5 you lost, get it? The 5 you added were priced higher than the 5 you lost, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to make it simple.
But I hate to tell you this, but once you lose a customer in that way, you're probably never going to get them back.
Oh, you will.
I would say the odds are really stacked against you.
You will. I've done it. No. Here's what happens. If you're doing good quality work like you say you're doing, and you lose those 5 customers because you raise their price, what they're going to do is they're going to call Jim, Bob, and Joe, who already don't answer their phone, because most people don't, in whatever reason in the service business. And let's say they get one guy, they get Jim, who barely knows what they're doing. They get Jim, who is brand new. He's living at mom and dad's still. Okay, he doesn't even mow his own yard. Has no idea. Okay, she's going to use him, and then after some time goes by, she's like, man, that guy Ray really did a lot better. I'm gonna call him back, and they will. I've had Christmas-like customers that did not go with me the second year. Guess what? They went back with me the third year.
What you think when you're 35 or 30, but you're gonna find that there's not an infinite amount of customers.
There is.
To the point where you can alienate customers.
You can. There is. Look at me. There is an infinite amount of customers. I'm not going to watch the rest of this video because I've already got 50 minutes on the recording here, and I'm not even half of the way through this video. But there is an infinite amount of customers. Hear me. They are building like 800 new homes in my service area, and they should be done mid next year apparently. That's 800 homes. That's 800 new customers. You think they're going to stop building homes? No. Especially not at a college town. There's an infinite number of customers. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video here because I will just keep going. Go check out Ray's content. You make your decision who's right and wrong. Don't be commenting in my comments telling me how I'm putting words in my mouth, telling me how I'm going to run my business that I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I know down to the minuclear level what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So hopefully this helps Ray out. How you can raise prices and still drop customers. All right, peace out.